this rage inside of me that I just can't wait to unleash. I'm invincible, I'm unstoppable, I'm alive.
All right, everybody, hi, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. My name is Gabe Tuft, the founder of Body Spartan. I'll be your host for the next hour. I'm joined by my lovely wife.
Hello, First Lady of Body Spartan, Priscilla Tuft.
And that's it tonight, guys. Howard and Brandon are out, so we're going to hold the fort down here. A couple of quick things to go over with you guys. We had an exciting and very eventful weekend. We went to Seattle.
Seattle, we are in love with you.
To say the least,
It
right?
is one of the most gorgeous places. We were driving in the Lamborghini to go get my phone that I left at the after party, and I was just overcome by how gorgeous it is over there. Oh my goodness, the waters, the crystal waters, and just all the buildings and the atmosphere is just gorgeous. It's very different than any other place in the world.
Yeah, and apparently they had gone for a record 57 days without rain.
So we will not be moving there.
No, not even close. But we did love the town, the city. We ended up going to I guess it was like north of Seattle, is a border of Seattle, to a city called Shoreline, to a gym called Get Strong First. And this is where we had the first official stop of the National Body Spartan Tour. This is our testing ground. We had a phenomenal turnout, guys. It was amazing. The five of us, it was me, Priscilla, Brian Cage, Brandon, and Howard.
And our amazing cinematographer.
Oh, yeah, I can't forget Sean
Smith, the bomb, the guy behind the camera, producing all this content for you guys.
Yeah, he did a great job, man. Like, we hired two models from a talent agency, and our plan was to have them come in and kind of show them early what they needed to do, get them set up with checking everybody in on iPads and directing traffic, kind of explaining them how the whole event was supposed to go. Well, one of them was able to make it. Serena did a great job. She got there with just enough time to get started. She was absolutely wonderful. But not having two there really was a problem. The other one just totally no-showed us.
The other one was like, oh my gosh, you mean like today? Wait a minute. Like this Saturday?
Oh, you meant this Saturday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
we're bummed because she missed out. We treat our girls so good.
Yeah.
We always have a good time.
I mean, the event went off perfectly. We learned a lot of stuff for those of you that are in the event promotion business or just in business in general. And we're always trying to share our tips with you and the things that we experienced. This was our very first event that we put together ourselves.
And
as
let
a team.
us just tell you, you do about 5 things right and you do about 5,000 things that you can learn from.
Yeah, and I like how you put that. We didn't do it wrong. We just figured out ways that we can do them better. So
don't get me wrong, we crushed it. We had a freaking amazing time. It was epic. The energy in that freaking building.
Man.
Seattle, thank you for that warm welcome,
Yeah.
by the way. You guys are insanely awesome.
We packed that small gym, or I should say Seattle, you packed that small gym. It was great turnout. We did about a 30, 40-minute seminar in the beginning, and we covered everything from motivation to nutrition, workouts, sleep and recovery.
Goal setting.
I mean, we knocked it all out, and we gave people advice, not just for the gym, but for life, like we usually do, and everybody ate it up. It was great. They were hungry for it.
Rowdy crowd.
Super rowdy. We did an autograph signing session and a photo op session that lasted about an hour. We did what we're supposed to be giveaways. We're gonna do some raffles, but P got all excited and did like the t-shirt shooter thing.
I got bored. I'm like, you know what? Let's scream and throw things. And so I thought it would be fun to just like grab a bunch of shirts and like throw it out to the audience, see who caught one or whatever. But the wind kept catching them and like flinging them back behind me. So I look like this dumb blonde, but I was rolling with it. I'm all, this is awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, you were throwing out supplements and shaker cups.
Okay, yes. Let me talk about the shaker cups next. How much do those things weigh?
They're heavy. Those Cyclone
Nailed
shaker cups.
some guy in the head so hard. Loved it. He's like, oh my gosh, sign my head. No, it was awesome.
And that's why you sign the waiver when you walk in.
Exactly. We're like, I'm not responsible if you hit in the head with a shaker cup. But we threw out so much stuff to the fans that it was so much fun. I felt excited to share that abundance with people because everyone was asking me the whole time. They're like, are you guys going to be selling merchandise? You're going to sell shirts? And I kept on saying, oh no, we're not here to sell anything. We're not here to sell anything. And then I bust out the box And I do a little tease. I'm like, you want a shirt? And I get up on the table. I'm like, who wants a shirt? And everyone's like, wow.
Yeah, it was like
it was so
mosh
much
pit.
fun. But they were respectful of each other.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
trying to kind of kill each other.
A
at
little
first,
bit, you
but
know.
I'm like, okay, we're not killing each other. But the merchandise was good. It was fun. It was fun.
That was a great part. But well, aside from the seminar and how energetic everybody was, the next part, which was the actual workout, was phenomenal. We had talked about originally only working out with 2 fans. And the reason for that is it is really difficult to get a good workout with lots of people in the rotation. And we're there to get a workout ourselves. Even though, the event wasn't for us, it was for the fans in Seattle, Shoreline area. It's important that if they're going to work out with us, they get the full Body Spartan treatment. I want them to know what it's like to be a Body Spartan and work out like a Body Spartan.
And our goal was not to go there and make money. Our goal was to go there and freaking serve and pour into people that are a part of Body Spartan. This is our Body Spartan family.
Yeah, we didn't make a dime at that event. It was a free event. Like, we didn't charge for it. Like, there was no money made there at all. And I'm fine with that. But the point about the workout is that after a little bit of talk with, we all convened. It was Cage, Howard, and Priscilla, and Brandon, and I. And we convened and said, you know what, let's pull 3 people, because there were 5 Spartans. And we figured, okay, we can break up into, groups of 3. And then finally, we go like, you know what, let's just pick 4 fans. Let's just get 4 fans. And we randomly selected 4 fans off the, we had them sign in when they came in, which, by the way, that was another crazy thing. Like, everything that went wrong, that could have gone wrong, went wrong, but we handled it great. Like, the sign up on the iPads, it only pulled 15 names out of everybody that was there into our randomizer. And so,
but that made it easy. So we told them, we're like, pick a number 1 through 22 or
then
whatever.
we had to have everybody sign in again on the iPads on just a notepad. We're like, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. This is what's happening. I'm just going to be totally transparent with you. The freaking webpage
You're making it
broke.
sound like such a cluster. It was
No, it really
awesome.
wasn't.
It was so
I'm just
smooth.
telling people the way it works is like, hey, you know what? If you're going to try to do this, stuff happens. And we didn't freak out. We just found a solution. Just like with anything in business, there's always going to be a problem. You just find a solution. We found a great solution.
And we promise you're probably going to do it wrong the first time, and that's okay. That's how you learn.
So we picked 4 guys to work out with us. It was Scott, Elisha, Steve, and Tyler. And I don't remember everybody's last name. I have to apologize. I do remember your first names, and I remember your faces very well. These guys busted their asses. We had Lance, who is the owner of Get Strong First. It's like a functional training facility. He had everybody else that wanted to stay. A portion of the people left. They didn't want to stand around, and they might not have brought their workout gear or whatever. But dude, we had tons of people doing battle ropes and sleds and I mean, you name it. Lance had them running through the ringer while we were working out with the rest of the crew, and we had a handful of people that stayed just to watch the workout, to get a feel of what it's like to work out with the Spartans.
And a bunch of them gathered around us, and we filmed their cameos, their transformation stories. Steve, for example, he lost 56 pounds on Genesis already.
Yeah.
Armando lost 250 pounds on Genesis. There's a couple guys that were starting on Unleashed, and over a month, one of them gained 20 pounds, and he started doing nothing and started Unleashed. And it's just, these programs are working for people, and it's such a blessing to be able to see their faces and feel their energy and be in their presence and celebrate together as a Body Spartan family.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I'm telling you, man, these 4 guys that we picked, they busted their asses. So we broke up into 2 teams. So it was Brandon and myself with Steve and Elisha. And it was Cage and Howard with Scott and Tyler. And both groups, I think, work harder than they ever did their entire life. And you can even see the videos posted on Facebook, guys. It's the Seattle. I think it says some of the most motivating shit you'll see all week is the post title. And it's a 2-minute and 30-second video of the workouts. You can see how hard these guys worked out. It's like mind-blowing. Elisha actually puked like 3/4 of the way through. Priscilla saw the whole thing go down. I missed it. I didn't see him. He was so like...
I grabbed Sean, our cinematographer, and I'm all, Pilker, go. And he's like running out there, and he's like, oh, I missed it.
But by the time he got there, Elisha had already like wiped his mouth and came back for more. I'm like, he didn't even tell me he puked. He didn't say a word. That's how
I love
dedicated
that kid.
he was. Yeah, I love him a lot.
that kid.
Like,
both of them. Donovan, his buddy, like seriously.
oh yeah, it was his buddy that was with him, right?
I will keep them. I will one each of my back pockets. Like just always have them. They're the sweetest, most awesome, genuine guys. Like I fell in love with so many people in Seattle. I mean, you guys are, you're awesome. We love you.
Yeah, and so long story short, guys, it was a fantastic event. Everybody there got to feel and experience the motivation that our team brings firsthand, not only in the workout, but in the seminar where we just dropped a ton of life advice, business advice, and fitness advice. So huge success. I think, I'm pretty sure, I got to sit down with Rick, he's our tour manager, and figure out where our next stops are going to be and how we're going to organize this a little more efficiently next time. But I'm 99.9% sure we are heading to Texas next.
Just one more absolute shout out before we get off the Seattle conversation is Scott.
Oh, yeah, Scott.
Oh, my goodness sakes. Like, how much did he also lost 56 pounds, I think he said on
I don't
Genesis.
remember the number, but it was some huge number.
And he is still going. So he's taking a couple weeks off. He's getting back on it. The guy is motivated, and he's got another little one on the way.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way, Scott.
Congratulations. And he and his wife are just the ultimate Body Spartan couple. They're really special, just powerhouses. And we sat down at the after party and had a really good talk. But just so many of you left a seed in our hearts that make us want to work a little bit harder to provide this content for you guys and just to give you every piece of advice and energy that we have to fuel your life because it fuels us.
Yep. And speaking of the Genesis program, before we dive into our main topic tonight, which is how to unlock your true potential, I'm excited because I got my programmers to do something really cool. So over the last month, they've been working on this website, and they were able to create a 30-day free trial of Genesis. And I know it sounds like something so easy, but it's really not that simple on a website to create memberships and stuff like that and basically give people access to all this stuff. So they created this 30-day free trial of the Genesis program. One of my thoughts behind this was, we've been charging full price for Genesis. It's a one-time payment. You get lifetime access to the program. It's a full 12-week program. It's amazing, guys. Comes with nutrition that Priscilla wrote, and it's custom for your body. You fill out some variables. It auto-calculates your macros for you. There's a preseason section with a bunch of videos that explains everything, how to do it properly. You get a small PDF download that goes with it, which is basically the story on why I wrote Genesis, and it further explains the program. There are workouts every day. They're all shown for you in the dashboard. You got a body fat and body weight tracker in there as well. So you take your measurements, your body fat, it tracks everything and graphs it for you so that you can look at your progress and go, oh, okay, so let's see. I'm doing this. I'm losing body fat, but I'm gaining muscle. I mean, it's all right there, and it's amazing.
And basically, if you are not getting shredded on this program, you might want to make sure that your heart is actually beating and that you're actually breathing in real human being oxygen and stuff. Because
human being oxygen?
Yes, human being oxygen.
Good. Just want to make sure
it's a very specific type of oxygen.
Well,
HO2.
Well, in short, I want people to experience this program because every time somebody commits to it and gives it 30 days, they get phenomenal results. I'm not saying you're going to be super shredded, Brian the fucking machine Cage shredded in 30 days and huge in 30 days, but you're going to see some phenomenal results in just 30 days. And just think, it's a 90-day program. It's a full 90 days, 3 months, 12 weeks, however you cut the cake. We're giving it to you guys for 30 days.
No cake. This is keto.
No cake. This is a keto diet.
Just saying, because that was a lie.
But the cool part is, too.
Lie detector says that was a lie.
Well, hang on a second. You can call me a liar afterwards. But after the free 30 days, you get the full price of Genesis broken up into 2 monthly payments. So you don't even have to shell out for the whole thing after your 30 days. And the other cool part is that we've got it set up so that if you, for any fucking reason, you don't want to continue with the program, for the entire 90 days, you can cancel at any time. Like, within your first 30 days, you don't get charged. After that, you get your first monthly payment. If you don't like it, boom, we'll stop the payments right there. And if you totally hate it and you want a refund, we'll refund everything for you.
And
I stand behind
you
this
will
fucking
not
program.
be receiving the Tuft family Christmas card if you cancel. That's all I'm saying. I love you, but should we still send them the Christmas card?
I mean, that's kind of douchebag if we don't.
Is it?
Yeah.
But if they're like, I hate it, And I hate these silly Body Spartans with all their keto diets and their shredding programs. I didn't want to get jacked. I
mean, if you're not going to put in the effort and bitch about it and be like, oh yeah, well I did the workouts, but I half-assed the diet.
Then no Christmas
I want my fucking
card.
money back.
Then
Sure,
no
I'll give
Christmas
you your money back happily, but
no Christmas
you're not
card.
getting a fucking Christmas card.
Okay.
End of the fucking story.
So I don't want to like put too much emphasis on that, but just saying.
And our Christmas cards are damn cute.
They're adorable.
Like, damn cute.
Ridiculousness.
Like
you'll have it on your fridge all year. Just
Yeah.
saying, until the next one comes. Just saying.
there's like puppy cute, and then there's like the tough family Christmas card cute.
It's like its own category.
Yeah, it just, there's no comparing. So, anyway. how
Buy
to unlock-
Genesis.
Goodbye.
Get a Christmas card. How to unlock your true.
How to unlock your true
Potential.
potential. So what we're going to talk about tonight, guys, is seriously how to unlock your true potential for life. And of course, it's going to be related to business and to family life and the gym. I mean, we're going to talk about everything right here. But we have basically 3 sections we're going to break this into. And I want to dive into the first one. And it's one that I live by. Don't give a fuck about what other people think. Rule number 1. Stop caring about what other people think.
But my parents raised me to be humble.
Fuck that shit.
But my family doesn't understand when I don't eat as much as they do on Friday night family dinner.
Kind of sounds like a fucking excuse to me.
But my buddies want me to go out drinking, and they don't understand why I don't go out with them anymore, and why I don't get pizza anymore.
If
Nobody
you were-
likes me anymore because I'm on keto.
If you were Brandon or Howard, I would say your vagina is talking right now.
Oh, the only thing I want is the Tuft Family Christmas card. I can't do this anymore.
Seriously, guys, most people are so concerned with what everybody else is thinking and what they think people are thinking about them that it hinders their ability to become their true self. It hinders your ability to unlock your true potential and become the limitless human being you were born to be.
And what's crazy, it's like the closer that somebody is to you, the more that you care what they think.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got 3 people that I care what they think. I mean, pretty much anybody in social media, it's like, I love you guys. Like, I will hug and kiss you all day long. I'll send you Christmas cards. But like, really, I'm going to just say how I feel. But then when it comes to my mom or my brother, but most of all, my husband, I'm like, am I cool with him? And he's like my one vice. If I feel like my content is poor quality, then I'll hold it back even if it's amazing. So same thing with results. Like I was terrified to share with my family that I was about to start losing weight. And then 45 pounds in, I showed my mom my before pictures and showed her my current pictures. She got tears in her eyes.
Paint me this picture. Why were you afraid to share with your family that you were about to start losing weight?
Because they were obese too.
So you were...
oh, I'm better than you. I'm losing weight now.
That was the thought you had in your head that they might perceive of you.
And I was raised in a pastor's home. So we were raised to be humble about our bodies. So in essence, that comes across as like self-hatred almost. And it's so different. Humility and self-hatred, so incredibly different, my sweet people. They are completely different.
So explain to me, as you were growing up, tell me about how your parents talked to you about your body.
Well, that it should be a nothing.
Explain that a little more.
Okay, so I'm a large-chested girl. And
Yes,
I
you are.
was... I mean, and again, this is my perception. This is not necessarily how my parents raised me, but this is my perception of how they raised me. So I was under the understanding that I was to smile at a gentleman with my lips closed, so not showing teeth, and that my shoulders were to be rolled forward. And when I hug, that I should never allow contact with their bodies.
Wait, you were told that your shoulders should be rolled forward?
In so many words, through school, through like church interactiveness.
Was that to hide basically your tits and like so people don't?
So that well, when you walk back, I mean, I'm just going to say about myself, I know that a strong quality of me is that I am a powerful woman, and that when I walk into a room, I present myself as powerful. And do you know what I do, you guys? You know what I do to be powerful? I walk with my shoulders back because it feels good to me. It feels strong to me.
Well, it's confidence.
And there is scientific proof that it increases your testosterone levels and raises your serotonin levels. And when you walk with your shoulders forward, that you release other chemicals such as cortisol, such as, why can't I think of any of the other ones?
I mean, that's enough.
It suppresses your endorphins. So you're not feeling well. You're not feeling happy. It suppresses the serotonin. And so when you walk with your shoulders forward, yes, you're not showing a large chest, but you're showing a dejected human being and you are feeling like garbage. Anyways, all of that aside, I grew up to be an international fitness model. And my daddy was horrified the day that he was going through the checkout line. We're going there today, aren't we?
Yeah, we're definitely going there.
He was going through the checkout line at the grocery store and he saw me in a swimsuit with my little Jack little six pack. And it was a national magazine.
It was the Muscle Mag cover, right?
It was the Muscle Mag cover.
Yeah, it was I don't remember the edition. Priscilla's in like this green suit by the ocean. Totally, look, I was so proud of her. I'm like, she had a national cover. It was Muscle Mag. I'm like,
and
dude,
much to his horror,
you've arrived.
They did not believe in bikinis. They said
horror, not to his horror. Just so everybody understood the enunciation there.
No, he and my mom have been married 48 years. There's
horror.
none of that going on. They are desperately precious and in love with each other to pieces. So he opens it up, and of course, there's a 20-page editorial on me and my fitness career. And anyways, long story short, where was I even going with that?
Well, you're talking about why your dad was horrified and how it affected the way that you felt later on.
Well, yes. So I had this fitness modeling career, and when we had Mia, and around that time, I decided that I was going to give up my modeling career, I had a fitness dance team, give that up, and just be a mom. And when I decided to start losing a few of those 100 pounds that I needed to lose, I wondered
what was the final number that you had gained when you were pregnant?
Oh my goodness. Well, when I was pregnant or after when I started, because I continued to overeat desperately after I had given birth. I was told
what was the heaviest? Let's just put it out there so everybody knows.
I was 250.
215?
250.
250? You weren't 250. You're kidding me. You're fucking kidding me, right? You were deuce and a half and I didn't even realize it?
I weighed more than you.
Holy
at one point.
Because
you had lost weight. You were like 245. Because you were like focused on your career and the baby, and you were skipping workouts to hang out with me and the baby because you got one day.
Your butt was so big and I was like...
You always made me feel so beautiful.
If you guys want to see the before and after pictures, we actually have them with Priscilla.
I don't even have myself at my heaviest. That was when I was like, I need help.
But this was we have one post pregnancy,
and they're in my weight loss book. It's
you go to Body Spartan and hit the menu under the store, go to the ebook section. There is the Big Arm Bible, and then there is The Secrets of Weight Loss. I wish I had known 100 pounds ago. On that page, you will see Priscilla's progress photos that we're talking about here. So you can see that, like, we're telling the fucking truth. Like, photos don't, I mean, shit can be Photoshopped, but guys, like, honestly, we took these because actually Priscilla had me take it. I remember saying, don't show them to me. Take these and don't show them to me.
And I said, point the camera, but can you please not look?
I remember that too.
Oh gosh. But I knew that I needed a starting point. And then he's like, turn. And I was taking these pictures, you guys, and I was mortified. And so for a year, actually, after I had lost the weight, oh my gosh, I'm feeling really emotional over this. For a year, I didn't look at those photos. When I hit my goal weight at 13 months out, I started to think about finding them and I lost them. I could not find them anywhere on the computer. In fact, some of them are still missing. A lot of them are still missing, but a lot of them are in my book. And when I looked at them for the first time, I just cried. I just bawled. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is nuts. Like I can't believe that I had let myself get that out of hand. But anyways, when I started considering losing weight and I started to make efforts and I was down 45 pounds. By the way, you guys, nobody noticed and nobody said anything that I had lost 45 pounds. I think people are afraid that it's a fad and that it's a phase. And if they tell you, hey, good job, that maybe you'll just gain the weight back. And anyways, I went ahead and I showed my mom, and I was like,
But
hey,
you were thinking the whole time, you were concerned about what she was going to think about it?
terrified.
Because of everything that had happened before, where you heard from your dad and your brother. And
my mom is the
So
most
what were the things-
non-judgmental woman.
Now, wait
She
a
is
second.
so precious.
What were the things that were said to you after your dad discovered you on Muscle Mag?
You ready? Nothing. It was me beating myself up, thinking about what they were thinking.
So your
My dad-
your mom said, "Oh, we saw you on the cover of Muscle Mag."
No, my dad did.
What did he
He's
say?
like, so, went to the grocery store today. And my parents are just like so good humored. It's my own pressure that I put on myself. But went through the grocery store, check out line today, saw the, your magazine, want to gouge out every guy's eyes that has ever looked at it. How was your day? And basically that was it. That was all that they said. But I felt so guilty. And it tortured me because I was afraid of what they thought, because I knew the standards that I was raised on. You don't wear a bikini. You don't flaunt your body because you're ripped. You hide in a mousy way with
You wear a
15,
frock, basically.
You wear 15 sweatshirts to cover a large chest. You don't smile with your teeth. But they weren't meaning
So
to cause damage. It was mainly the school that I was going to.
This
private
was
school.
your mind
Yes.
concerned about what your parents were thinking, even though they said nothing that was
No.
in direct opposition, like,
No.
you fucked up, kid. You in your head said, oh shit, I fucked up. My dad's thinking this,
Right.
my mom's thinking that.
Yeah.
I care about what they probably don't love
I'm
me anymore.
rejected. They're going to cast me out.
So you're spinning these stories in your head.
Yeah.
And what did it do to you inside?
It ate me up. Okay, so I had so much negative energy trapped in my body that I would get these neck seizures that would land me in bed. I could not get out of bed because of the amount of guilt that I felt over my fitness modeling career. And you guys know my image. I am very clean. I don't have my boobs out. I just don't do that. I don't put that.
I think that's why you're so highly respected in our industry by our fan base, is because you're classy. I mean,
They are
you're not
so
an IG
respectful.
whore. You don't sit there and show your ass and your chest in provocative ways.
And if I did, we'd get a crap ton of fans, and none of them would be interested in our programs. They just want to look at my butt.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay,
we wouldn't be
that's...
reaching the type of people that that want their lives changed. We'd be reaching creeps that just don't care.
And we'd be fielding all these gross messages and comments,
Well-
and I'd feel like a dirty yuckiness. Like,
So the point is that this is
put on
all
put
in
on
your
your
head.
hair, makeup your hair.
So this was all in your head. And
Totally.
let's talk about your brother. What were some of the things that were said to you by your brother during your weight loss journey, or during your your fitness career?
So
give me one example.
We've made a commitment on this pod. Actually, it's unwritten. Gabe and I telepathize a lot. We shoot ideas
we actually
and thoughts
call it
back and
we call it Monoggy.
Monoggy.
It was from a Friends episode. Remember when Joey was talking to Chandler and said something? He's like, blah, and he
But
I
it was-
read his mind. He's like, oh yeah, Monoggy. That's where
but
we got
it was
from.
Miyagi, and somehow we turned it into Monoggy.
No. It was Monoggy.
Was it Monoggy?
Yeah, Miyagi's from the Karate Kid.
Well, that's what I thought it was. Anyways.
Pat Morita.
Anyways, this is like a real thing. We really do pass words. Like the first time I ever heard the word areola, I asked him, I said, what does areola mean? He's like, how did you know I was thinking areola? We were eating ice cream, as
How do you
awkward as
know
that.
I was thinking about your chest. Speaking
Yeah.
of large chests.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm like, oh gosh.
Keep it classy, keep it
How do I
classy.
keep digressing? So we made a commitment early on in our minds, telepathically, that we were just going to be real and open and honest on this podcast, because real is all we have to give to you guys. Authentic is all we have. It has been a very difficult journey with my brother, because I was raised in a Christian home.
Not just a
And-
Christian home, but you're the pastor's kid.
I'm the pastor's kid.
Yeah.
And I was raised in a private school, and I was inundated. And I perceived it in a way that left me very empty. And don't get me wrong, y'all know I love God so much. But my brother is kind of like on the other end of things, like where he has a very like rule-based religion. And I'm not religious at all. I am incredibly spiritual, and I am a devout lover of God. But I don't think that he sees me the way that my brother sees me. My brother sees me and he's like, why are your pants so tight? Why are you why is your shirt so tight? Why are you saying that? Why are you doing that? And
But it'll be a thing where there's always something to discuss with you about your appearance.
He freaking loves me.
Sure.
I know that he loves me. That will never change. But I am never going to be good enough to meet his rules.
And so how did that make you? So like, say you would, because I remember going to events and things with the family. We go out and you would spend hours trying to pick a dress or an outfit, and you look at me like, am I showing too much? I'm like, no, you're fine.
Oh,
like,
you
no,
mean like 2 weeks ago when we went to a wedding?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
fucking pain in the ass.
It's well, it's like I can't even. Yeah, I agonize over it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
because you're worried about what other people think.
Is it just him? Because I adore my brother.
Oh, that's right. He was there. Yeah.
He was my hero growing up, and everybody idolizes their big brother. That's just how it goes. I idolize him. I love him. I adore him. But I had to get to a point where I'm like, your rules are not my rules. I love you so much that I'm going to release you to believe what you believe while I'm over here doing what I feel led and compelled to do.
So right now, tell me, what was the turning point for you when you just said, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I'm going to do my own thing. And I'm going to, and by my own thing, guys, I'm talking about following the life path that you are called to do. That I'm talking about deep down in your soul, that burning passion you have to just follow whatever dream it is that you have been dreaming about, that you're driven, whether it's to help people, whether it's to change lives, whether it's to just, I don't know, be a fucking firefighter like Brandon. I mean, when was the day you stopped giving a fuck? And how did it change?
So
how did everything change for you?
I had little miniature moments, and I'm still on my path. I'm still on my journey. I'm still having my moments of release.
Good, because the day you think you've arrived is the day you lose the game.
But I have grown tremendously. And my first turning point was when I decided that I was worthy of losing that 100 pounds. And when I was on my weight loss journey, my mom, 65 years old, also lost 100 pounds. And my brother lost 60 pounds.
Because of your progress.
Because of my progress. And I watched my husband, your body even improved, watching my body improve. And
I was eating a lot of brownies when you were pregnant.
But I feel like it caused a ripple effect. And that was my very first thing when I decided I'm going to lose weight. And I don't care if people think it's ungodly, because I know that God looks at me and God loves me and God made me in perfection and God wants me to thrive. And it is a fallacy to believe that we are supposed to be in this self-hatred state, because it is even the Bible says laughter is the best medicine. Yet we're supposed to walk around like covered up, like we hate ourselves and loathe ourselves and tear our clothes in agony. No, we're supposed to be joyful.
So when you lost that weight, other things started to happen. So you stopped caring about what people would think about you. Now that you've lost the weight and you're worried, I'm sure going through your head at some point, you're like, oh, I got to be careful what I wear and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But you unleashed this powerful woman that I didn't even know existed. I mean, somewhere deep down inside, I knew this girl existed, but it always to this day
we saw
shocks me.
glimpses of her.
Yeah, we would see little sneak peeks of powerful Priscilla.
Like I've opened up gyms and that was huge and that was big. I've graduated from college.
But I'm talking
I've done
about,
these things.
writing.
But there's something deeper.
I'm talking about your passion behind the camera when you do your motivational videos and you just spill your heart. I'm talking about writing your secrets to weight loss ebook, the weight loss blueprint, another short ebook that you wrote, starting your supplement line, reaching out to other women and just literally pouring your heart in your Facebook videos that we put up on Body Spartan. I mean, that woman didn't exist before the weight loss happened, before when you were caring so much about what other people thought.
Well, that kind of skips a step, because that side of me you have really pulled out.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't want to take full credit for drawing that. I think that was inside you always, and maybe just being around other positive people, maybe you pull me up all the time. So
well, our lives have a lot of synergy. It's when I'm lacking in some area, you come along and you're like, hey, let's work through that, and vice versa. That is the joy and the danger of being twin flames.
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, I wasn't always as what's the word I'm looking for? I hadn't reached what I thought was my true life path yet. I mean, what was it like not even that, maybe 3 years ago when I really stopped caring about what other people think. Yeah, I mean, it started for me. It was just my whole life. I cared about what other people thought. And for, those of you who look at me
and
now,
who doesn't? I mean, we are all in that space. We're freaking out.
Really cared about it.
I mean, isn't that what junior high is all about? Junior high, high school, you're freaking out.
I hated both those. I've told the story before, but we moved when I was 10 years old to a whole different city in the same county. I had to switch schools, and I had like 3 weeks left in 5th grade and moved into junior high. And I was so nervous about what everybody else thought. They all wore different clothes in the place I was going to. I wore shoes
terrifying
from Kmart.
anyways.
Yeah, but I just didn't fit in, and I was so concerned about making
Your
new
mother
friends.
did not buy you Kmart shoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
no. What grade?
All the way up through 7th grade, I wore Kmart shoes.
Oh my gosh, because you're so freaking indulged. They indulged you. They gave you the best.
No, not.
Your mother would always make sure that you had what you needed to fit in and be cool, right?
No, we shopped at Kmart.
Until 7th grade. And that's when brands started to matter, right?
Okay, then I switched to Mervyn's.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
But Mervyn's was cool. Do you guys even know what Mervyn's is?
Mervyn's
Did it only
was
exist
not
in
cool.
Sonoma County?
I thought it was cool because you know what the cool was back then? Levi's 501s.
Nerdvins.
Or you know what? 501s were uncool. It was like 505s that you had to get. And if I just cared so
Wait, what's the
much.
difference between 501 and 505?
I don't know. It's like a
909.
different thing. Anyway, here's an example. So in junior high, I think it was 6th or 7th grade, I played basketball. I was on the team because I think it was 7th grade because basketball is what every popular kid played where I went to school. And I sucked, man. I had no idea how to do this. I practiced, but I just sucked.
I think that might be a tough thing. I pray to God our daughter never feels like she has to play basketball because I completely sucked too.
Well,
it ruined my life too.
It didn't ruin my life, but just an example of
basketball ruins lives.
How much I cared. I'm choking on my lung. Jeez. I swallowed my spit and I breathed it instead of swallowing it. I mean,
tell us more.
Yeah, I totally inhaled it. So I joined the basketball team, and there were all the popular kids that I had to deal with. And I was so nervous. Like, I would go shoot hoops, and I would practice, and I beat all the practice, beat all the games. I sat on the bench, and my parents were in the stands, and my dad would leave work early so he'd come see my game. I just sit on the bench. And then finally, like mid-season, I get my opportunity. It's 3/4 of the way through the game. We're up by like 15, 20 points, some asinine number where obviously we're not going to lose if I get put in. And so,
put me in, coach. Now's my big moment. We're not losing.
This is some high quality H2O. So he puts me in, and I remember they passed the ball. I don't remember who it was. Somebody passed the ball to me, and I was so nervous that I was going to make a mistake and that everybody would laugh at me or I would just screw it up for the team. I didn't even dribble the ball. I just passed it to the next open player. And that was the only time I touched the ball in that game.
What a freaking picture of life. How often are we past the ball and we just pass it because we think that we're not worthy enough, not adequate enough.
We don't even drop it. We just throw it to the next person. We're like, oh no.
Exactly. You don't drop the ball. You just freaking pass it.
You just pass it.
Or you stand there like a deer with its eyes, freaking out. But all of us have done that.
Yeah.
So are we doing that because we're freaked out of other people? It's that uncertainty. Like what's going to happen if I try to make a basket? What's going to happen if I let my team down? What are they going to think?
Well, speaking of teams, I played sports too. I was in wrestling, and it wasn't really a team sport, but the other time I really cared about what people thought there because you had every top guy. It wasn't about what you knew. I mean, you had to be a good worker to get there. By the way, guys, we call it working in wrestling. You had to be a good worker to get there to TV, but it wasn't about what you know. It was about who you knew. And if you got your producer that helps you put the match together, but you also try to make friends with like the top guys. And so I made friends with guys like Jericho and Edge and Christian and Kane. Those were some really, really nice guys that took me under their wing. Chavo Guerrero was there, MVP. Like I did a lot of guys, and I'm probably missing some dudes. So I apologize, guys, if you're listening. But there's other guys too, like a bunch of other dudes. So like I remember one night, Mark Henry came up to me and said, "Do this." And Chris Jericho said, "Do this." And Edge said, "Hey, you need to do this." And I'm like, dude, I got 3 different guys telling me to do 3 different things. And I like them all. And if I don't do everything, they're all going to be pissed. Yeah. So I got to pick.
Wait. Bob.
Bob?
The Bobs. Remember Office?
What would you say you do here?
And they're all giving you like different orders, and you're like,
Samir, Naina, not going to work here anymore. Literally what it's what happens is you come back through, you make your decision that what you're going to do because you think it's the best way to go, and you have to please your producer because Vince wants to see stuff too.
But you're getting all these orders shouted at you from different people, and you're like, who am I most afraid of? Because I'm going to go with whatever they say.
And you have to keep your mouth shut. Well, you don't have to, but you're told to keep your mouth shut and do what you're told, and all these things. You don't want to piss people off and get heat backstage. So I picked something, and I came back, and I had two people that were pissed at me, wouldn't talk to me. I mean, Adam was not like that, but just the idea is like, guys are like, oh, so you didn't do what I told you to do. Cool, I'm never helping you again, you piece of shit. And that's just the attitude. So I cared. I went out there.
In reality, they probably had like lunch together, and they're like, let's screw with this kid. Let's all tell it. You two tell him this thing.
I had so much potential.
We're gonna tell him this thing.
And I had my worst matches when I cared. When I got demoted, so when I got taken off SmackDown, and they were repackaging me because I was this monster heel, and I had, I was ominous, but I didn't have a character. I didn't have a freaking character, so they didn't know what to do with me. They never helped me with, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It was my own that I didn't develop, a persona for this.
Because was it going to be good enough?
I didn't know.
Can you own something that you're unsure of? Because you got to go full in, like with your wrestling persona. Like you have to own it. And if it's not good enough, then you've owned something losery.
Yeah,
and it's worse than just not owning anything at all. You're like, screw. Isn't that totally high school
exactly
too,
what
though?
It is. Well, they stopped.
Totally high school.
They
are you
stopped
the
booking me on
gangster?
SmackDown. So they stopped booking me on SmackDown. We get demoted to NXT, which is like not even the C show. It's like the D show at that point. It's not on any major network. I think it was airing on the net at the time, just on the internet. And so it was like the, go down there, figure out what the hell you're doing kind of thing. And they'd bring up all the guys from training that didn't have any experience. So I ended up forming a tag team with Kurt Hawkins just because we're like, hey, dude, let's do some matches. We had a tag one night. It worked out really good. We had great chemistry. And so we formed this tag team. But Kurt and I, we didn't care. Hawkins and I didn't give a shit. We were like, dude, if we're going to get fired, we're going to get fired. We're just going to do what the fuck we want. I don't care what you think. I don't care what Cena thinks. I don't care what Mark Henry thinks. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't fucking care.
And that's when they started to majorly give you the push.
Because we didn't fucking care. Like, they would tell us to do something like, no, that's not right for us. We're going to do this instead. Or we would ask, I remember asking our producers, I remember asking IRS, Mike Rotunda, to do something, and we were going to use Hawkins' cane. He's like, oh, no, you can't do that. You got to say that for the main event. I'm like, fuck it, we're doing it anyway. I don't care.
And they're like,
let Vince be mad at me because we're going to have the match of the night, and I want Raw to try to follow that.
And they're like, you tell us no? Go on.
And guess what? Who were the tag team champs? Who were the tag team champs until recently? It was Jimmy and Jey Uso. We worked with them every fucking week. Had some of the best matches that nobody ever saw. Because we were a bunch of great minds.
This is totally ironic. I was reading a book to Mia today that was written by Obama, of all people, for his daughters. And it was about all these people that had tremendous impacts on the world, from presidents to Martin Luther King Jr. to all of these amazing people that have done all these amazing things. But they had to take massive action in direct opposition to what they thought was cool. So they were doing exactly what they knew that they would get heat for.
Yeah,
and
you got to ruffle some feathers to make some progress.
And there was a really awesome phase, and I can't remember who said this phrase, but it was, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. But that's not the one. It's like if you're not making someone angry, then nobody's going to love you. Or if somebody doesn't hate you, nobody will love you. That's what it is.
Yeah. That was the other thing I found. When I started getting on the right track, haters showed up out of the woodworks.
And you're like, oh, okay, bring it. And it sucks.
Well, and I want to tell this really important story because we're talking about how you just shouldn't give a fuck what other people think. And when I started Body Spartan, I was so concerned about not having foul language and presenting things in the right light because my business partner at the time was your brother, and he, I wanted him to help me with it. So I needed to make sure that I didn't say anything wrong. And then one day I just was like, I think I flew off the handle on camera. I just said, fuck. And I didn't edit it. I put it up there. I'm like, whatever. And I remember thinking, shit, man, are people gonna, what are they going to say? What are my parents going to say? What's your brother going to say? What are your parents, your parents, you're the pastor's kid. I'm like, what are they going to say? Are they going to not, they hate me? And one day I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. And I pushed the button and it went live. And
it reminds me.
Every video after that, I was just like, fuck it. I don't care. You know what? If you don't like the way I am, if you don't like me dropping F-bombs, there's the fucking door because this is who I am. I'm serious. I got a foul mouth.
Actually, not at home
At
ever.
home, my mouth is clean.
You've never said a perverse word in front of our child.
Oh, no. I slipped once. I didn't know she was there.
And when she wants to watch the videos, she's just going to have to wait till she's older if there's something, which is sad. But
there's always an edited version on Facebook.
Yeah.
And it actually worked out pretty good because Facebook won't let us boost posts. They won't let us pay for advertising on posts that have profanity in it because it just doesn't fit their ad guidelines. So I had to start censoring stuff. When I did that, we opened up the whole new demographic for families. But what I'm saying is that when I just stopped caring about what other people thought, what other people were going to think about Body Spartan, and I followed what my heart was telling me to do and who I felt like I should be, I was able to grow. And Body Spartan grew. And because I was able to grow, you were able to grow. Like we simultaneously began unlocking our life path and our true potentials because we stopped caring about what my parents would think. And I was like, you know what? They're going to see this shit because we're friends on Facebook and I share everything on my personal Facebook page. So whatever. And we went like 8 months. I don't think they even said anything. They've never said a word about me cussing on Facebook. Have they?
I don't think so. I don't know.
They just don't care. They love me for who I am. And they
But
realize...
I mean, cussing is not who you are. Like, perverse language is not who you are.
It doesn't make the man, but it gets the point across. It's very... what's the term I'm looking for? It's very impactful when used properly.
In moderation, yes. But then sometimes...
Fuck.
So then sometimes... there's like, other circumstances that you're concerned about what people are going to think about you. You're worried that you're not going to be good enough for them. You're worried that there's this uncertainty. Am I going to fail? And I put myself out here. I've tried my best to be this big deal. Our Chihuahua is just like loving us right now.
No,
she's in the studio with us tonight, and she's just like licking our legs and like going back and forth from one of us to the other. It's so cute. But anyways, screw what they think. It's not helpful.
No, it's not. And like I said, people would put in their 2 cents.
The mic. She's like on his lap, and she's like keeps looking up at the mic.
But people would put, and we talked about haters coming out of the woodwork. Man, they came out of the woodwork when we started Body Spartan because I would just get these crap comments about our stringer hoodies and about you name it. If there's a flaw of any way, shape, or form, people will call you out. And at first, I was like, oh man, maybe I should change this. And finally, I was like, you know what? I don't care. And I control this thread, so I don't have to watch this. I don't have to listen to this. I can ban you. This is my thread. This is my company. I don't care.
And
say what you want.
It's more than a decision. It's more than a screw what they say. It's a self-confidence issue. Are you secure within yourself? Do you believe in yourself enough to not care what they say? I mean, you're possibly always going to give a little bit of a crap about what your parents think, about what your spouse thinks. That is so completely normal. But are you going to let it make you crumble? Are you going to let it make you fall apart? Or are you going to grow through it and say, hey, that's a great suggestion. I'm going to go ahead and not do it that way.
I'm going to do it my way.
I love you. And
what's the worst that could happen? You fall on your face and fail. And you find a better way. Because when one door closes, another one opens for a very specific reason. Now, that being said, that's number one. Don't give a fuck about what anybody else thinks. Just do your own thing. Be who you are. Be secure in who you are. And understand that people are going to hate you. People are going to make fun of you. People are going to laugh at you. People are going to say really negative things about you.
I mean, maybe.
It's going to happen.
Not to just like put that in escrow for every single human, because I don't have that same experience.
Hang on. There are going to be people that say things. There will always be people that say things. And you just have to let it bounce off. You have to not care. You have to put it aside and go, I'm so damn sure about what I'm doing that I don't give a fuck. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to be who I need to be. Now, that being said, the other thing that you have to do to unlock your true potential, this is number 2, guys. So if you're taking notes, number 2 is you have to have a clear vision. You have to have a crystal clear vision of where it is you want to go, who it is you want to be, and what it is you want to do. And you remember this stuff from business class where they'd say, hey, write down your vision and your mission statement. I never understood it. It was just a thing we did. But when you have the vision, you know what it is you want to do. Like, I want to change at least one life every single day. Before the day's end, if I've changed one life through Body Spartan, I've met my goal. if I've changed the life path, if I've stopped somebody from committing suicide, if we change somebody's path of life so that they could get out of their job and start their own business and be passionate about it, if they could be a better father, better mother, better son. I'm killing this.
And on my end of the things, I want to see people push for their goals. And the very first thing to do is write them down. You must write them down in black and white. You must have it written down and know so precisely and so clearly what it is that you're wanting.
So explain.
Because without a target, you will never hit the bullseye. You must know what it is that your intention is. And write it down and believe it and know it so clearly that you can see it when you close your eyes. You can smell it, you can see it, you can taste it, you can hear it, you can touch it. Use all of your senses to know and feel the vibration of that which you're wanting.
And it becomes a tangible item once you write it down. Remember, we talked in other podcasts about speaking things into existence. Words are things. Once you speak it, your brain believes it. And once you write it down and you see it, it's even stronger. And you can go so far. We'll take Chris Cavallini, owner of Nutrition Solutions Lifestyle in Tampa. He does all the meal prep stuff for us.
Impacting guy.
Yeah, I mean, his company's doing phenomenal. We're talking about an ex-felon. I believe he was in prison for a felony, if I remember correctly. Just got out, started his life over, went to Tony Robbins seminar, started his life completely over. I mean, he's the nicest guy with the biggest goals and the biggest heart I've ever met, and his company is killing it. And what he does every single day, what does he do? He writes down his goals every single day to remind. He takes 5 minutes and writes it out so he knows what his major goals are. Now,
and that is a little bit different because those are micro goals, and there's different types of goals. You've got your long-term goals, what you're going to do within 3 to 5 years. And a lot of people underestimate what they're capable of doing in 3 to 5 years. But they overestimate what they're capable of doing in a year. That's a really good thing to take note of. Then there's those goals that you might get done in 1 to 3 months. But then there's those goals of the day. What are you going to do today? We call those our 3 to thrive. What 3 things can you accomplish today to really thrive in your life?
Well, and when we say thrive, we talk about getting us closer to the big goal. And
which is the 3 to 5 year goal.
So what we're recommending, I don't even want to say recommending, I'm saying this is what we do. And this is one of the keys to our success is to start at the top. So visualize your lofty goal. I'm talking that thing that somebody crushed out of your head years ago. And it's the reason that you're working in your dead end job, or it's the reason that you're going to your 9 to 5.
You know what somebody crushed of mine? Like the very first goal that I ever had crushed, and I was like horrified. I loved monkeys. I wanted to be a monkey trainer. I wanted to have a monkey trainer. I wanted to be a monkey trainer. And I wanted to train little baby monkeys and put them in diapers and, put them in my backpack, whatever the heck I wanted to do. And somebody said, you can't. And I'm like, why? It's illegal. And I actually know somebody who had a monkey on a leash and he jumped off and died on his leash. And if that doesn't happen to you, that monkey will reach inside his diaper and he will pull out poop and he will throw it at you.
This is what that person told you.
Monkeys throw poop. And my dream just like sizzled into nothingness. And I was like, no.
Well, all that being
Ruined
said
my
about
life.
crushing dreams.
Just say it.
Great to be a monkey trainer. And if that's your lofty goal, that's cool.
Fling your poop, Mr. Monkey, because
I'm talking about your lofty goal. So this is the one where you go, okay, I want to not be working. I want to be sitting on a beach. I want to have 2 houses. One has 5 bedrooms. It's 5,000 square feet. I've got my Aventador in the garage. I've got X amount of motorcycles. This is like the dream. I don't have to work. I can travel. And it's not going to be the same dream as me.
If you have blocks, if there are things that are really causing difficulties for you, gosh, can we speak tonight? No.
I'm having a terrible time.
Today, Junior. If you're having a problem getting to that point because you don't even love yourself and you can't even look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm worthy of that which I'm desiring, and there's garbage in my backpack that I need to empty, I want you to go back to the Rick Bassman episode and go through the visualization at the very end of that episode. It will change your freaking life, and it will help you perfectly set up a 3 to 5 year plan. So start there.
So, okay, once you've done that, get your lofty goal. And I mean, don't be afraid to dream. Nobody's going to see these goals except you. So don't be afraid to frickin' dream. And don't don't hesitate to put something really astronomical down. So write it down somewhere. I want you guys to write that down. Now, I want you to start with what you're going to do in the next 30 days to get there. After that, I want to see your 3-month goal written down. I want to see a 6-month goal written down, a 1-year, and a 5-year. And the reason that we're doing this is so that you have milestones. In 30 days, I want to have set up the foundations of my new business and I want to have at least one client, or I want to have the website built, or I want to have my ebook written, or in 30 days, I want to have set aside enough money to purchase Genesis because I want to get shredded. I want to do the Body Spartan Genesis program, or I'm going to set aside $20 a month. I'm going to stop going to Starbucks because I'm going to do the elite. I'm going to join the Spartan Army and be part of the elite members program with Body Spartan because I know they got tons of freaking workouts in there and all the advice in the world. Start somewhere and then go, okay, from there, I'm going to pursue this in 3 months. This is where I'm going to be. If it's business, okay, now I got my website. Now I got my Facebook page. Now I got my product that I'm going to sell, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a digital program of some kind, whether it's whatever. And I'm going to have sold X amount. In 6 months, I'm going to be doing this. In a year, I'm going to be doing this, making this much money. And I'm going to be, in a year, I'm going to travel. That's what we did. I was like, I want to travel. I want to go places. And what do? We travel.
We moved. We're like, how do we do this? Plus impact people, plus grow, plus meet our 6 human needs. But the thing is, you might be completely overwhelmed with the thought of all of this. And listen, you're getting peanut butter and jelly with Gabe and I. We are twin flames. You are going to get 2 exact opposite ends of the spectrum because Gabe is quantifiable. That man demolishes every single goal that he sets, and he teaches goal setting. He's freaking brilliant and freaking amazing at that. There is another angle that you can take. There is the understanding that those goals in the next 3 to 5 years, what you want in your wildest dreams, what you want to accomplish, that is a vibration. That's a feeling. What you really want is the way that you know that you're going to be feeling in the accomplishment of that thing. If you can see it in your mind's eye, then you will hold it in your hand. And simply speaking, how would you plan out your perfect day to accomplish that what you're wanting in the next 3 to 5 years? What would today look like? So when you get up in the morning, what does a person like that eat for breakfast? What does that person do with their day? What are your 3 to thrive? What 3 things do you really want to get done? Feel the essence and the vibration of that which you're wanting, and you will hold it in your hand. See,
I totally subscribe to that. 100%.
It's just a different perspective because I do what you.
I mean, actually, you know what?
Too.
I think that these 2 things are part and parcel. They go together, and one cannot be accomplished without the other. I fully believe in the law of attraction and this. How our molecules all vibrate at certain frequencies, and the higher vibrational frequency coming from a positive attitude and believing that things are going to happen. I truly believe that it opens the doors to the universe and you start gravitating towards your goals. But I also believe that you have to have actionable items, and you have to be able to be in that zone. So like if I'm thinking a year down the road and I want to have X amount of money in my bank and I want to be in the house that I want, and I want to have that event door in my garage, I have to be able to see it, and I have to be able to visualize it, and I have to be able to feel it and taste it and touch it in my head and believe that it's going to happen. And that is not a goal-setting
time. That is a vibrational moment where you see the Lamborghini parked in the garage. That does not take work. That's just pure deliciousness. And then when you break down the goals, what are you going to do within that 3 to 5 years to get to that point? Okay, then you're putting in the work. But the 3 to 5 years should feel good. It should feel like you're on vacation when you're setting the goals. You should get out a piece of paper, put on some music that inspires you, go to a place that inspires you, and put some strawberries in your mouth and swish them around, whatever makes you feel good, and just dream.
And when you're dreaming, guys, don't worry about the how. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Don't even think about how it's going to happen. Think about the why behind it. Why do you want to feel this way? Why do you want this? And the positive feelings and the positive vibrations that you're going to create from that are going to help draft your goals. The how will happen. If you focus on the why, the how will happen. Money is always a byproduct. Success is a byproduct of the why. It's going to happen, but just focus on the why. Write down your goals. Start with a lofty goal. Then let's go from the beginning. Once you know the end game, we always say work backwards. I want to work backwards, go ahead. Either way, I like to know the end game, and then I start at the very beginning. I'm like, okay, in a month, I want to be here. In 3 months, I want to be here. In 6 months, in a year, and then in 3 to 5 years. And write that shit down, guys.
And get specific. What kind of Lamborghini would you like parked in the garage?
Yeah.
What is your exact zip code?
Yeah.
You know, be specific, be real.
I want an orange Aventador with black leather seats with orange stitching, and I want the damn black rims and orange brakes sticking through. I know exactly what I want.
Or something better, please and thank you.
Well, by the time it's around, when we're ready to do that, the Aventador is going to be gone. We'll be the next one. So whatever it is,
they're going to have like some
the Aventador is getting replaced, I think, in 2020.
They're going to have some athletic
I don't want to wait
version
till
where
2020.
large humans will fit
I'm
into.
not waiting. It'll happen in a year.
Oh yeah,
This is me setting goals.
Yeah, no,
I just spoke it into
happening.
existence. So that's
And keep in mind, I just want to touch on one more thing before we leave goal setting because I freaking love the topic. I can't stand it. Keep in mind that this is not just about business. This is not just about fitness, my sweet friends. Are you looking to fall in love? Think about that and set your 3 to 5 year plan. Are you wanting to be married? What does that marriage look like? Do you want children? And what does it take today to be the person that is ready for the type of spouse or relationship that you're wanting? This works in every single facet of your life. Maybe it's an emotional goal. I just want to friggin' be emotionally balanced. And I know that it's possible. And I imagine myself sitting on the grass and my dog licking me on the face, and maybe a soccer ball is coming out of nowhere and hits me in the back. Whatever it is, just make it so real and understand that you are in complete control of your destiny. This is your simulation.
You said you want balls flying in your face.
So the next thing is it is absolutely imperative too. The third thing.
And the last thing.
And the last thing.
Put in the fucking work. Don't be afraid to work. We talked about how I need actionable items to be successful. And Priscilla's talking about how, I don't want to toot my own horn for lack of a better term, but I get shit done. Like, I get shit done. I'm not afraid to work.
Yes.
How many hours I spent in this office the last 2 weeks? Probably 80 hours a week up here, maybe. 7 a.m. I start. Actually, I'm in here 7 to 7:30. I'm in the office. Break for an hour and a half for a workout, and then back up here until midnight.
But that doesn't have to be your story.
No, but you can't be afraid to put in the fucking work. Things take work. If you want to build a business, if you want to get in shape, you can't just will yourself. I know you're going to argue with me on this. You can't just will yourself to lose 80 pounds. And you're going to say, yeah, you can. I know that. But in my opinion, you have to put in the fucking work. You have to get up in the morning and you have to do your fasted cardio. You have to go to the gym. You have to put in the work of doing meal prep. You have to make sure that you know your macros. You have to make sure you know the exact amount of proteins, grams of protein, carbs, and fats in every single meal. You need to go shopping.
And y'all know I'm going to be the touchy-feely version of that because, again, Gabe and I are peanut butter and jelly. You put in the work, but it's not the kind of work that you would expect.
You're not digging a fucking ditch.
You're not.
It's effort.
Yes. You're not digging a ditch, but it is effort. And you can have fun doing that. You can have freaking fun. You know how many times Gabe and I have put videos together and we're just laughing our butts off and falling in love with each other more and more because it's fun and because we're building this together and because things are happening and because here we are, quote unquote, working. But here we are sitting together, enjoying, creating content that is going to benefit our Body Spartan family.
And I'll tell you what, sitting in front of the TV is not getting the fucking work done. So most couples, I would say a huge amount of couples in the United States would spend the latter part of their night. So, Mia goes to bed at 7:30. She was reading in bed to about 8-ish?
Stinker.
Yeah. And so as soon as she was asleep, we went to the office and we started the podcast. Now, most couples would go sit and watch TV.
Well, that's what we used to do.
Yeah, we were every other couple.
Our couch was screaming out in pain, stop eating, Priscilla. I am in so much pain. Just no more food. And that was like the joy of my night. I remember, I would put the baby down and we sit on the couch and we're like, let's make brownies. And eat.
We need to relax.
We need to relax.
And we need to watch TV to relax.
And 3 freaking hours later.
I need to unwind.
And you know what? That was indulging. That was enjoyable.
But
it was not freaking fulfilling, you guys.
Well, we sat there and wondered why the hell we didn't have all the things we ever wanted in our life.
We were watching them on TV. Why wasn't that enough?
Watching other people live our lives for us. Basically.
And then all of a sudden, a year's gone. And we're like, whoa, where did that go? Then a year and a half. Then 2 years. And we're like, holy crap, something's got to change. And so I would sit there eating... I don't even know what I eat. Crackers or something stupid. Everything.
Are you talking about when you were pregnant?
No, afterwards. And I needed it for the calories, blah, blah. And anyways, telling myself these lies. And then Gabe starts writing the book. And I'm like, why are you not eating Cheetos? Eat freaking Cheetos.
Or why aren't... It was Orange is the New Black at that time. You're like, why aren't you watching Orange is the New Black?
Yeah, why aren't we doing this?
I got shit to do.
And then I got it. And I cut off TV just in a day. I said, no more. And I haven't watched TV in how many years has it been? 3 years?
At least 3 years.
At least.
I don't think you've seen them. Well, you started to watch a movie and you got up and walked out.
Oh my gosh. This is like the anniversary of when I gave it up.
Time.
Yes. It was about the time that most people's kids are going back to school.
You know when I gave up
a little early
TV? No, I didn't. I haven't totally given up, guys. I still have Hulu and I still have Amazon Prime. And
wasn't it like 3 months or 4 months after me?
I literally watch like an episode of Family Guy or South Park a week. Sometimes at bed before I go to sleep. If I just don't want to give up the day. This is terrible, and I don't even suggest doing this. But sometimes I'm like, I don't want to give up the day, but my brain is just at overload from being in the office for what is it, 7 to midnight. So do the math on that. I was like 18 hours in the office. I'm like, I just can't think. And I don't need to watch it, but I do occasionally. And I really don't watch. I just fall asleep. Like I have my earbuds in and I just fall asleep. It's just something there. So I'm like, oh, I didn't give up the day. But that being said,
always know when he's having those nights of watching like some dumb show. And the reason he thinks it's okay is because he heard one time Tony Robbins was like, oh yeah, I sometimes watch Family Guy when I need to like shut off the thinking part of my brain.
But he said the same thing. He goes, I just fall asleep.
And he just falls asleep because it's like what he fell asleep to. But anyways, I always know when he does that because like right now Rick's downstairs, and so Gabe doesn't watch downstairs because we got Rick sleeping on our couch, and he is upstairs in the bedroom, and I see the light go on, so I put down my little kitty cat sleep shade, which is adorable. If you have ever seen Should Have Gone to the Gym by Gabe and Priscilla Adorable Tuft, then you have got to see those sleep shade because I wear those freaking things.
It was Should Have Gone to the Gym too.
I wear those freaking
Go ahead and Google
Should
Should Have Gone to the Gym.
Those are the real. So I pull those
There are 2
things
videos we
down.
did that are fucking hilarious.
They're hilarious. That's like the real us, like the slapstick. Well, a part of the real us.
Carry on.
So I put down the little sleep shade, and then I can't really see the light anymore, and he's just like sitting there still, and then all of a sudden it gets a little bit quieter, and then and he flings me out of bed like 3 times. And
what did I do? Why?
You just like laugh at something, and I'm like, whoa! It like wakes me up out of dead sleep. I'm like, whoa.
Well, it's been South Park lately, and it's pretty.
Yeah. But what's your laugh? You're like, oh.
Is that how I sound?
Yeah.
Is that how I sound? Listen to you.
Oh my!
Sound like a damn dolphin.
Wait, what's yours?
We need to film this.
That's you just now.
I'm trying to get it. When I realized that I needed to stop watching TV, is I ran through Netflix or Hulu. I watched every episode of The X-Files twice. And then Supernatural ran out and I watched it from the beginning to the end. All like, 8 seasons or something. I don't remember what season.
And then it's
every
over,
night
and he's
I
like,
would binge, and
he's like, "What do I do with my life?"
And I realized, I'm like, dude,
Episodes
I counted the
over.
hours, and I wasted like some asinine amount of days of my life. Like it added up to days of my life watching fucking TV.
But you don't feel better when you're done. All you feel like you want after
feel
a
like
show is that you want
missed the
more.
mark.
But don't you feel like you want more?
I want to watch more. But then when I sit there and there is no more, I sit there and go, shit, I missed the mark. Nothing's changed. Tomorrow is the same. I'm going to get up, do the same thing I did before. I'm going to watch more TV because that's my release. It's called suspended disbelief. We use it in wrestling. It's for that period of time, you know that the shit you're watching on TV isn't real, but you get sucked in, and for a moment you start believing it. That's why you jump in a theater. You're like, oh, when something's scary. because it's suspended disbelief. It takes you out of your reality. But what is real is that it takes work to get shit done. It takes work to get to your goals. It takes work to unlock your true potential. And watching TV is the exact opposite of how to get that shit done. When you turn off the fucking television, guys and girls, talking to everyone out there, you will unlock your true potential.
And you guys, it's hard. It is freaking hard. It is so hard, especially if you don't have clear-cut goals of what you are doing during that time. If you don't know what it is that you're doing with that time, it is so hard to turn off the TV. But if you do it, you will be liberated and you will begin to live.
Yeah, absolutely. So quick recap, guys. How to unlock your true potential. Number one, do not care what other people think. Don't give a fuck what other people think. Number two, have a clear vision of what it is you want to do. Write down your goals. Look at them every single fucking day. Take steps, take actionable steps to get to those goals. And number three, put in the work.
Like work it, work it, work it, work it.
Anything worth attaining takes work. All you millennials out there, I want you to listen to me. You are the next generation. Do not be afraid to put in the work. And everybody out there, nothing is owed to you. No one owes you fucking anything. The government doesn't owe you anything. I don't owe you anything. Your parents don't owe you anything. No one owes you anything. You have got to make a spot for yourself. There is plenty of money out there. There's plenty of time out there. It is a big fucking world. You've just got to go stick your flag in the ground somewhere and claim your spot. But it's going to take work. So get out there and fucking work.
Did anybody else just like pee a little bit? That was awesome, babe.
This episode of the Body Spartan podcast has been sponsored by Depends for Women.
Just sometimes I get goosebumps and then like tears and I like pee a little,
So put in the work. All right, guys. That's it for today. We'll see you next time.
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.
Indestructible, undeniable. I'm a man with a plan, understand.